everyone, and welcome. Here we're watching another Eyes Open Network video. Today is November 12th, 2015. Today's topic is the calm before the storm of the World War III agenda. I found a very interesting video earlier this week, and it was Secretary of Defense Ash Carter making some statements, and I broke up the video a little bit. I just want to have a little bit of commentary on it because it is very interesting. Essentially, the notes are talks about Russia being a spoiler on a global scale, China a rising power. Talk about Moscow and their saber rattling, nuclear saber rattling. Sorry. And he goes on to talk about the not in a war with Russia, and he goes on to talk about China's attempt to build military offensive in the South China Sea. So there's some pretty interesting commentary here from Ash Carter, the Secretary of Defense. So without further ado, I will give you the first clip. Have a listen to Ash Carter and his thoughts on Russia and China.
Russia appears intent to play a spoiler by flouting these principles and the international community. Meanwhile, China is a rising power and growing more ambitious in its objectives and capabilities. And most disturbing, Moscow's nuclear saber rattling raises questions about Russia's leaders' commitment to strategic stability, their respect for norms against the use of nuclear weapons, and whether they respect the profound caution nuclear-age leaders showed with regard to the brandishing of nuclear weapons.
Okay, so let's get this straight. Now the U.S. Secretary of Defense has decided that, and making it very public, of course, that Russia is being a spoiler on the nuclear front of international conversation, that they're essentially saying that Russia's pissing off everybody and they're out of line. He kind of quickly jumps on the China bandwagon about their rising powers, and he gets into that a little bit later, but I mean his big focus is on talking about Moscow and their saber rattling. I think one of the things that I found most interesting about that clip was the phrase strategic stability. That he questions after all their nuclear saber rattling, he questions their resolve on the idea of strategic stability. What exactly does strategic stability mean? Well, the way that it reads to me is, I think it's pretty clear that, with things like backing, rebels on the ground and putting money into the ISIS coffers and weapons, accidentally drop shipping weapons to the wrong place so the wrong, quote unquote, the wrong people get it. The idea that ISIS is a Western created problem in order to facilitate this whole war, which would be strategic planning or strategic stability of the region, because that's what the U.S. is always talking about they're trying to help stabilize the region when in fact they are destabilizing the region deliberately. It's like Ash Carter was deliberately trying to call out Putin and say, look, man, we have a plan. You need to stick to the plan, or shit's gonna hit the fan. That's basically what he was trying to say, in my opinion. That's what I was reading there, and I found it very, very interesting. We'll move on to the next clip, which Ash Carter actually makes almost a declaration of war if Russia doesn't toe the line.
We do not seek a cold, let alone a hot war with Russia. We do not seek to make Russia an enemy. But make no mistake, the United States will defend our interests and our allies, the principled international order, and the positive future it affords us all.
Well, the minions said it best. What? Are you kidding me? It was just a flat-out statement that Russia, if you don't toe the line, we're going to go to war with you. So basically, we're going to throw the ball back into your court, that if you continue to, do what you're doing, we're going to have already made it look like that you're just defying us, so we're going to have to fight back. You're forcing us to fight back. This is absolutely crazy. It's amazing. They don't seek a cold war. They don't seek a hot war. And they don't seek to make Russia an enemy. But, and that's a really big but the U.S. is prepared to defend itself and its allies and go to war with Russia. That's basically what he's saying. Oh my goodness. And for those of you who wonder whether or not World War III has begun, let's get it straight. It's already underway. Reports just recently that China's got missiles that can blow satellites out of the sky. Let's be real. All right. Anyway, let's get back to the next clip. The next clip's even just as much fun, because our good buddy Ash Carter, says that there just maybe, just maybe there might be a way that Russia can be helpful. Maybe. Just watch how very distinct he is about that point.
We will continue to cooperate when and where our and Russia's interests align. And it's possible, just possible, we'll see, Russia may play a constructive role in resolving the civil war.
It's possible, he says. And they're going to work with Russia wherever and whenever their beliefs align. Nice. So anyway, moving on with the video. The final clip is with regards to the South China Sea and China's rising power there, and how the U.S. and many other countries are super concerned about how much land is being claimed in the South China Sea. Really? They've been doing it for a year, so now we're going to start to worry about it? I think maybe you guys should have put the pedal to the metal and got involved if you were so worried about it. Fact remains is that they built themselves a massive military base in the Spratly Islands, and there ain't much anybody can do about it at this point other than blow it up. And the odds are of that actually happening, unless of course it becomes we actually get into the massive scale of World War III. Then yes, of course they'll bomb it. But as it stands right now, he just sort of makes a plea to the world to understand that, the Secretary of Defense of the United States of America has some grave concerns about the land that's being built and claimed by China and their rising power, and that this could set off an accident or a mistake or some sort of international incident that could have been avoided if you guys wouldn't have tried to build some islands. That on and he talks about China being a rising power, and I mean that's on the heels of another report, and I'll probably do a follow-up video regarding missiles that China has now claiming and testing to blow up and take out satellites in the sky. So you got Russia cutting internet cables under the ocean. You got China going after the satellites so that the U.S. can't communicate in a defense situation. Doesn't look good. All right, I will, without further ado, I will let you watch this final clip from Ash Carter, the Secretary of Defense. You have been watching an Eyes Open Network video presentation regarding the World War III and how it is developing. Take care. Have yourself an awesome day.
The United States joins virtually everyone else in the region in being deeply concerned about the pace and scope of land reclamation in the South China Sea. The prospect of further militarization, as well as the potential for these activities to increase the risk of miscalculation or conflict among claimant states.